Kristaps Porzingis heading to the Boston Celtics. And it was a 3-team deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies ended up getting Marcus Smart. You'll see Kristaps Porzingis go to the Boston Celtics. And Tyus Jones is heading to the Washington Wizards. Now, if I'm the Lakers, and this is just me, there's no reports or anything, this literally just happened. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, can the Lakers go and target Tyus Jones? Like, that would be perfect in a backup role, right? Especially if the Lakers like land Chris Paul, right? If you could land Chris Paul and have Tyus Jones as your backup over Dennis Schroeder, I mean, I think that would be A1, like for real. Like, I think that would be massive for the Lakers to get young, 27 years old, 6'2", he's good on both sides of the ball, can run an offense, takes care of the ball. Memphis, in numerous categories, were actually better with him than they were with Ja Morant. Not saying that he's better than Ja, but still, like, he's more of a traditional point guard, can get the ball moving, get guys set up, also can knock down the three ball a bit, spread the floor, play some defense, play a little off the ball, as we saw in Memphis. I think that he would be great. He's arguably the best backup in the entire league. He's only under contract for 1 more year, if I'm not mistaken. And so you could go and get him, and if it works out great, kind of retool and, give him a longer term contract. If it doesn't, you just let him go, and it's not really any skin off your back. I don't imagine that he would be that expensive, especially the way that the Wizards are just having these fire sales, right? Could you get Tyus Jones for, I don't know, a second or two, a couple seconds, something like that? Give him some expiring contracts. I don't know, figure something out, right? I don't know if I'd give up the 17th pick for him, but you know what I would do? I might consider the 17th pick if we could get Tyus Jones and we could get Gafford. Gafford, 24 years old. I made a whole video diving into him. He's a young center, good size, good athleticism, can block some shots. He's not really a floor stretching big, but he's a guy that can do pretty much everything else and would be a solid addition to the Lakers, be a solid backup. He's on a very good, very favorable contract. He's a guy that I definitely could see making an impact for the Lakers. He's a hustle guy. He's basically, a 6'10", 6'11" winning Gabriel. Right? Give you some hustle, give you some good energy, play some defense. He's more well-refined, better discipline, and he's young. He's 24, so he has a lot of room to grow and develop and kind of, develop into a quality center, maybe starting level center. You could play him alongside Anthony Davis. He could be the backup. If you could get him and Tyus Jones, I know a lot of people want that youth movement. Here you go. Right? A lot of people want the Lakers to stay young and keep adding these young pieces and this young talent. There's 2 guys right there that might not cost a lot of money. And Gafford especially is on a multi-year deal. He's still got like 2 or 3 years left on his contract. So the Wizards are trying to unload all the salary possible. They want to basically go into next season with nobody on the books, is what it looks like the Wizards are trying to do. And so why not do you a favor? Like, you could go and get these 2 guys for probably dirt cheap. You can even work out a deal. Maybe you trade Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba or something like that. And they're not making that much salary to where it's unfathomable. You could work it out to where you could get a quality starting level point guard or backup. Even if you get Tyus Jones and Chris Paul, then you could even look at maybe trading D'Angelo Russell. Right? Maybe you can move D'Lo and the 17th pick as well as the 2029 pick, maybe something like that, and go get another quality rotation guy or something like that, or 2. There's a lot of talks about getting Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Could you work something out to where you can maybe get like a collective of these guys? Maybe just go get Miles Turner and then get Gafford as like your backup. So you're basically your 3 center lineup would be Anthony Davis, Gafford, and Miles Turner. That'd be pretty good. I mean, obviously Miles Turner would start over Gafford, but that's pretty good to me. And you'd have all 3 of those guys locked up for the next like 2 years at least. That sounds pretty good to me. And then, you go and you get a Tyus Jones. You have Chris Paul. Let's say you bring him in. All of a sudden, you got a roster of Chris Paul, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Miles Turner. You have Tyus Jones, Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and Daniel Gafford? Tell me that's not the deepest and best team in the league. Like, seriously. Like, if you can't win a championship with that roster, I don't know what you can do. And it's not unfathomable. I mean, the most arguably unrealistic thing would be Miles Turner. But we could have gotten Miles Turner in the offseason. And that was with a 2027 pick that who knows what that's going to become, right? And they really wanted that, right? So if you could maybe shift focus and go get, these two young guys from the Washington Wizards. Again, Washington's trying to unload as much salary as possible. Daniel Gafford fits that mold. Tyus Jones is 27, so they're probably not going to keep him for the long haul, although he's not like that old, right? He's not like 32, 33, where it's like, he's not going to want to be a part of a rebuild, but they know that they're probably losing him regardless, so they don't care. They'll probably unload him for a couple seconds. So if you could go get Jones for 2 or 3 seconds, could you do a Rui deal where you give up like 3, maybe 4 seconds for Gafford and Jones? Like, they got all of that in the Thomas Bryant trade. I actually really like the idea of bringing these two guys in to kind of round out the roster. And then at that point, now you just need to go look for, a center or some shooting or whatever. Basically, even if you don't get, like, let's say you don't get the Miles Turner thing, right? If you could get these two guys for cheap, right, then you're talking bare minimum to the studs. You're basically talking, Tyus Jones, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. Daniel Gafford. So you're talking at least bare minimum, you got 9 quality guys right there. If you keep your 17th pick, then there's 10, depending on how that shapes up. Although I do think that they would still move the 17th pick. You get these two guys and you add them to our core that we already have. Now you got this like very deep, very young, very talented roster, and you have them all for the next several years. Tyus Jones would be the only one that you'd have to work out trying to re-sign, but I don't see, he's not going to get $20 million a year, and if some team offers him that, then you just let him go. But, if you can re-sign him for $12 to $15 million or whatever, cool, why not? Right? Worst case scenario, you could always just move off of D'Lo, like I said. You have Chris Paul for a couple years, and then when Chris Paul's done, you could just have Tyus Jones just move into the starting role. Again, he's arguably a starting level point guard in this league. He's been a starter a lot for the Grizzlies. A lot. And the Grizzlies were very good. They have a winning record with him. So if you could make something like that happen, I think that's a home run. As soon as that deal went through and I got that notification, I was like, oh man, can the Lakers go get Tyus Jones? Go get Jones and go get Gafford, right? That would just, I would love that. I would love that. This wouldn't be the big home run trade. I still believe Rob Pelinka already has a deal for the 17th pick. We're already there, so I imagine he's already got it worked out. But could you go and maybe pivot to go get these two guys in another type of deal, right? Could you work something out? Maybe go even, I wouldn't even mind if they sign and trade D'Lo, especially if you know Chris Paul's coming. Sign and trade D'Lo for these two. Right? So when it comes to a sign and trade, you have to offer at least 3 or 4 years, which obviously the Wizards wouldn't want, but you only have to guarantee the first year. So you could sign D'Lo to a 3-year max deal. The Wizards have to at least get to the salary floor, right? They have to at least get to the cap floor. So you could say, like, that's your argument. Like, you're going to need a point guard for the season. You're going to need to get to the cap floor. D'Lo can be that guy that can help you get to the cap floor for a year. You go get him. We'll give you, a handful of second-round picks and give us Tyus Jones and Gafford. Win-win, right? Wizards are having a fire sale, but you still have to meet some league requirements. Here's your way to meet the league requirements. Here's a bunch of picks as compensation for doing us the favor, and we got some young guys now for the future. If the Lakers could do something like that, do that immediately. And then if you could go take Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba and the 17th pick and the 29th pick and go do whatever, even if you do go get, Miles Turner and whatever, the 26th pick or something like that, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Get it done. But anyways, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Love this idea? Hate this idea? Somewhere in between? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Again, it's just an idea. This just broke. I wouldn't be shocked if we hear some news about it, something like this, but keep that in mind. This is just a personal thing that just popped in my head that I was like, oh, we should talk about it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below.